Hello, everybody. Hey, it's Ken Faulkner. And I got another knife video for you. So I got some new knives. And if you saw my last video, you saw what kind of week I had last week. It was awesome. Uh, it can't be all awesome, but I'm going to take them when I can get them. This knife here is a new knife in my collection. It is the Endura 4 by Spyderco. And I'm going to be talking about this knife, but there's also a specific, when I start talking about knives, there's certain things I start thinking about specific to this knife and some other knives. And what it is for me is this FRN, well, polymer. I don't know. There's so many different names. I think on the website they're calling it a polymer handle. And I know that in general, polymer or FRN or, GrivX even, all these different names. I think there's a GRN. I don't know. There's a lot of different names that they call things. Kind of like the Axis lock, how when those started going out to all these different companies, they all had their own different name. And I don't know the science behind it, but I'm sure there's some differences, but a lot of it is similar. And I do have this other knife that I've had for a while. This is the Delica from Spyderco. And it also has that same kind of handle. So after the experience with this one, I had no problem with getting this knife. This was actually a gift from Freedom Frog Gear. Go check out his channel. He's a great guy, and he's got a kind heart, like so many people in this community. And he reached out to me and kind of asked me what I was thinking about. And I was thinking about, for my collection, getting some of these Spyderco knives that are the longer stretched out type versions of Spyderco knives. I have quite a few Spydercos. Kind of one of the closest ones to this is the PM2, Paramilitary 2. It also has that blade shape, and then this guy here is like a miniature version of it, of this Endura, in a lot of ways, except it does have the serrations. But the PM2 is a classic Spyderco. Many people have this in their collection, and it has this shape, this blade shape. A lot of people call it a leaf shape. I don't think, because it's kind of flat on this side and belly here. I don't know if it's really a leaf shape, but it's almost like you can just call it a Spyderco shape. It's very when you see a knife like that, you know that it's Spyderco or somebody who's trying to kind of copy a Spyderco. So anyway, I really like this PM2. Had it a long time, and now I'm looking at, well, actually I'll get it back out again. You can see that the blade length on these is different. So here's a size comparison. You're getting almost, let's see, the blade length on this guy is going to be about 3 3/4, whereas on the PM2 we're looking at more like 3 1/2. So we're getting that little extra length on the blade, and it kind of comes through with the blade shape as a longer. You can actually see that the PM2 has a taller blade. So this has kind of got a longer and leaner look. And there's a few Spydercos out there that have that. Endura being one. I think the Police is one that kind of looks that way. The military 2, not the paramilitary, but the military, which is like a longer version of this. So I was interested in this. I've seen a couple other channels. I know Nick's got one that's like one of his favorites. And he's always getting this thing out. And it's the fidget on this is a little bit different than other knives you have, because it is a lockback. So you kind of have this drop and then shut. You can get it to flick out, but there's still, it's got that spring, almost like a slip joint has a spring to it. So it's kind of, as you're doing the flick out, you kind of have to give it a little wrist in order to fight that spring on the back lock. But it's kind of a cool fidget. I mean, it's a different one, but when you kind of get used to it, and this one's actually, obviously it's not as easy under the camera, but this one's kind of worn in over time. And so it does kind of fall a little easier, opens a little easier, but it's kind of a fun fidget, a different type. You know, if you're dealing with compression lock, it's going to be a different kind of fidget. If you're dealing with a liner lock or a frame lock, it's a different kind. Or you got the button type of locking mechanism. So the locking mechanism tends to kind of change the fidget of a knife somewhat. If that makes sense. But I do like this. I do like the way this one does kind of do that close action. Once you get used to it, it's not so bad at all. But another thing about it is the handles on these. That polymer, you know, or whatever you want to name it, it's kind of a plastic kind of thing. In general, it's not my favorite. I'm feeling from holding this and using it that they are taking that handle and utilizing the fact that they can do this kind of forming of this texture to it and making it something that you really don't see in other knives. I mean, we do have titanium with milling and things like that, but this has got a pretty extreme grip to it. I mean, it's really, if you were going to have a knife that you're going to be using in a slippery situation, this has really got a handle that is going to be good for that kind of thing. Many of the knives that do have the plastic handles are what are called the lightweight knife. Spyderco has a lot of their designs that they will sell with G10 handles or the lightweight version. And yeah, this plastic material, this polymer, is definitely going to be lighter than a G10. So you see that in other brands as well. I went through my collection, kind of looked at some other ones. There are knives like this Hogue Deca that is not a cheap knife, so they're not doing it for price on this one. This one, I really feel like, obviously I can't read their minds on what their decision making was when they made this knife, but they do have this polymer handle, and it is a very lightweight knife, somewhat like the Benchmade Bug Out. The Bug Out, you can see that with this Benchmade Bug Out, I did change out the handles. So if I'm feeling these two knives, I am feeling that Bug Out's a little bit more lightweight, but I think that is mostly because I changed out the handle. I found the old handles for the Bug Out, and this is what it looks like, and they are also giving you some good grip here. Not quite as extreme a grip as you get on the Spyderco, but you can also see that there is flexing involved in these handles. Even when it's on the knife, when you kind of squeeze it together, you can kind of see it flex. So there is a downside to the lightweight advantage that you're getting with that real thin. Actually, if you take a look at this one, and really the Bug Out doesn't have much of a liner to it. There's just enough to handle the axis lock, but and you can see they have like threaded inserts in the plastic itself. So they are maximizing the lightweightness, but still is definitely going to have an effect on the feel in hand. This Hogue, I've always kind of felt that it has a little bit more sturdy feel to it. But I just watched a video from Tony Boombots. Tony Boombots is got a really cool channel. He just recently, I think it's a 500 giveaway. So he's kind of like in the range of my number of subs, and he is doing a giveaway right now. So if you want to go over to his channel, check out his giveaway. Do it quickly because I think he's gonna do the pick tomorrow. This is Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday, so you'll miss out if you don't get over there sooner. But he also had a Hogue Deca, and he got some original goat scales to put on it. Kind of like these. This is titanium scales, but he changed them out. Also, another knife that I did a change out on was the 80 20.5. These are original goat scales. These are aluminum, but they definitely give it a different whole feel to the knife. It's really quite amazing how much it changes the feel. And it's amazing to me that I haven't done more scale swaps. And now that I'm seeing what Tony did with that Hogue Deca, I'm thinking I might need to go ahead and try that out. Check out Original Goat, see what their pricing is, and maybe get myself some new scales for this guy. Now there are some other companies that don't really do polymer type handles, I don't think, for weight purposes. Here's an Ontario Rat 1, and I think in this case it's more of a cost savings. Again, I can't read their mind. This is just my impression of what's going on. But this is a great knife, and it has some weight to it because it's got these good steel liners. It's pretty well built for strength, and you can feel it when you hold the handles. There's a bit of texture on this one, not as extreme. Again, like I say, I think this is, for me, the grip on this one is got more grippiness than any other of these polymer type handles that I've felt. But at the same time, this one it's kind of does have that plastic feel to it. There's kind of a texture to it that is not as beneficial, but strength-wise, this one is great. It's got decent grip, so it's a good knife, and it's a great price. Also, Cold Steel does a lot of their stuff with this polymer type handle. This is where they call it a Griv X, so they must have their own special blend they do. Spyderco is known for being solid knives, so I'm sure that they're beefing up their material on there. So this is also a lockback, so it's kind of got that same kind of fidget as the Endura 4. But you can even hear it when it opens up. It's definitely got a more solid kind of sound to it than some of the other ones. So I don't think that this is really as much for lightweight as it is for price on this one as well. One Cold Steel that they have is the Tough Light, and this one, you know, light's in the name, so I think that that's the point of this one. And it is quite a budget knife, kind of a cool knife. Not really my thing. I wanted to try it out for this shape. It's almost like a utility blade. Certainly, if you're using it for work and you do a lot of box opening, this is going to be like an amazing knife for that kind of thing. But that's not what I do all day at work. And although it is a really good knife, it doesn't really, just the use of it, it's kind of a short blade, that kind of thing. It's not really so much my thing. And then there's I don't know what I did with the other knife. Anyway, I had another knife I was going to bring out just for laughs. Maybe I got it here. Hang on. Oh, here it is. This one's a beauty. This one is a beauty. This is the M-Tech MTA 882CH. Funny knife. This was early on in my collecting. Picked it up on Amazon, and it's assisted. It's just got everything you could possibly imagine that makes it feel like it's something you would buy at a gas station. But it does have these handles. It does have a texture to it. Got that bottle opener in the back. Get that lanyard on there. And look at that mirror finish. Whew. I'm telling you, that is something else. That jimping, it's a tiny little blade. So this one just kind of makes me smile. I think I keep it around just as a memory of just starting out and looking at knives on Amazon and thinking, you know, hey, that might be cool. And, you know, at that time, that's, you know, it was something that I could carry to work. I was like, back in the early days of starting to carry knives to work, I thought, oh, I better keep it very low key. I definitely have changed over the years, and people just kind of know me as the knife guy at work anyway. So it's not a big deal, but funny knife, makes me smile. Back to the Endura 4. This is made in Japan, Seki City, and it's a VG10. And you know that Spyderco, I mean, any blade steel that Spyderco is going to give you, for the most part, is going to have an excellent heat treat. So it's going to be maybe a little bit better than it is from a lot of other companies. This one's got the full flat. That's one of the big differences, other than the serrations here. This one is more of a Scandi kind of grind, or a saber kind of grind, but smaller, obviously. So it's kind of like a big brother's little brother sort of effect with these two knives. But yeah, I do like Spyderco's with that full flat, because that's something, one of the qualities of Spyderco I really like is the sliciness, and this one does. Nice thin stock, nice great shape, long blade, so you're going to stay in the cut, you're not going to be slipping out, and it slices like crazy. Good edge out of the factory. Let's see, maybe I have some paper here. Here we go. I don't know if this is good paper for cutting or not, but we'll give it a try. Let's see what this guy do. Woo, look at that thing. Woo, yeah, baby. All day long, like Tri-State would say. Although I'm not big into the pinch grip, but you know, that's where he's usually using it. But man, that cut so well. And I think it's really heat treat, the fact that they do put that effort on their edges when they sharpen them in the factory before they get to you. But yeah, you can see it's just doing the number. So Spyderco, for me, is known for that kind of thing. I love this knife. Thank you, Freedom Frog. You're the man. Appreciate you so much. Again, I went long on the video, but I just love talking about knives. I hope you guys don't mind listening for all my long-winded yapping. I will be seeing you soon, because I got other knives to show you, so keep an eye out for more videos. Thanks, guys. Bye.